Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
How's everybody doing? We're coming in live from Decaf Coffee Republic, the home of certified life coaches with global presence. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. You're joining me for Season 2. This is Kapehan Night Season 2. We're starting off the year. This is my first ever coaching talk live from Decaf Coffee Republic, the home of certified life coaches in its new location. We are now located in Pioneer Center compound, okay, from the city of Pasig. Okay, this is along Pioneer Street, okay, Pioneer Road, corner Brixton, United Streets. We are across Bayanihan Center, and this is exactly what you are commonly known as the PC. So you're familiar in Pasig City Capitolio, you are familiar with the iconic PC supermarket. We're inside the compound, and this is just along the road of Pioneer. When you enter the road, you turn right. Okay, we're at the second floor. Of course, the entrance is on the ground floor. Okay, so how's everybody doing?
Great.
How's everybody doing?
Great.
Okay, we're coming in live, so just in case you're in the vicinity and you want to join us, okay, I'm doing Kapehan Night every Tuesday, and on Thursday, it's gonna be coaching for the soul. This is normally gonna be lasting around 30 minutes to 1 hour, so just in case you're within that within the area, please come and join us. Decaf Coffee Republic now operates 24/7. We are now an up-all-night coaching hub, so you can visit us anytime here at the coffee shop if you need any coaching service, if you need any coaching talk. Okay, somebody will always talk to you all night. We're up all night in the city that never sleep. Okay, no, but so nasan yung mga taong bahay dito? Yan. Okay, may mga taong bahay po kami dito. If this is the first time you're joining me, I am Master Coach A. I represent the Global Institute for Coaches and Entrepreneur that is based in Dallas, Texas, USA. If our Master Coach, our CEO and founder is watching, hello sister. Okay, I do certification class, life coach certification class in behalf of the Institute. And up next, our second certification class for the year 2020 is up next on February 21 and 22. This time, dito na po siya sa function hall ng bago naming bahay. So, we're inviting everyone, if this is the season of your life that you would like to professionalize what you are doing in your season of helping people, if you want to professionalize your strategy to make a difference, okay, if you are in a season of your life that you also want to transition to doing something that's more meaningful than what you're doing right now, maybe this is the time that you may want to start looking at Decaf Coffee Republic and what we're offering in terms of life coaching services and classes. Tonight for Kapehan Night, we're gonna be talking about the imposter syndrome. It is not the imposter, it is the imposter syndrome. If you are familiar with imposter, normally what comes to our mind, imposter is?
Not genuine.
Not genuine? Two faces? Ano ba? Not true. Okay? Kapehan Night is our weekly talk where we talk about life, marriage, relationship, career, anything under the sun, including the sun. And why are we going to talk about imposter syndrome right now? Because coaches, would you agree with me? Guests, would you agree with me that many people cannot accept how successful they are and they doubt their own success? Yes. Who can connect with me? Yes. Okay. Imposter syndrome, okay? IMPOSTER, imposter syndrome is a psychological phenomenon known as imposter syndrome. This is a syndrome that reflects our belief, your personal belief that you are inadequate or you're incomplete despite all evidences that you are successful. Do you know someone, not you, okay, other than the person next to you, who seems to be very successful but cannot accept that he or she is successful? Yes. Always doubting the capacity. Okay? Always trusting if you can make it. How many times you needed to think twice before you accept a new project just because you're thinking, can I make it? Am I the best person? Okay, somebody there is connecting. Okay? And then your boss tells you are the best person in the project and you ask, really? Can I do it? Can I make it? Come on now. Imposter is somebody who's faking his capacity and capability. Imposter is you are the one, if you have imposter syndrome, you are the one doubting your capacity. Okay? If you are familiar with those feelings or your responses were in, you needed to wait for someone to press and push you to do something. Even if you know you've done the same thing, you have accomplished the same activity or the same project in the past, you seem not to believe that you can make it. Who's connecting? Okay. How many of you here can connect that even if you've done this over and over again, you still feel incompetent? And failure seems to be always an option. Yes? Even if you know you're skilled, even you know that you're experienced, you've been doubting yourself. Okay? And you will always say that, I'm just being cautious. I am just being sure. I just want to be sure before I make the next move, before I commit. Who among you here is having that difficulty to make a commitment? Or when you make a commitment, you needed to think a lot of times, to pray, to fast, to finally make the first move. Who's connecting? Okay. Do you know that many high achievers, many highly successful people have this secret? They have this imposter syndrome that deep down inside of them, they feel they are a fraud. They're not real. They feel that they are just faking people. That's why when you tell them you're so good, and they reply, talaga? Naramdaman mo ba yun? Who's connecting? Okay? How many of you would feel and connect? Okay? These syndromes will give you this feeling that the things that you have accomplished in life is not out of your skills, but out of luck. Serendipity lang yan. Nagkataon lang, nakachamba lang ako. Come on now. And you seem to have a difficulty accepting that you are made for this. And what you're doing is actually you're skilled, you're talented. That's the very reason many of us also coaches cannot monetize our talents. Talk to me. Kanya taas ng energy. We're live po. May tao po. Pumalakpak nga tayo. This is not a canned sound. If you're watching online, magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. Totoo po ito. Live po ito. You can message. Okay? So, tonight, we will be talking about the 5 different types of imposter syndrome and how you can take your steps, okay, improving from here. O, hindi ko sasabihin, automatic wala siya. You just have to start taking the steps to improve. Are you ready? Imposter type number 1, perfectionist. Agad-agad. Sana medyo may ganon. Uwian na, okay. Number 1 pa lang yan. Perfectionist and imposter syndrome often go hand in hand. Why? Okay? Why? Think about it. A perfectionist would always set a very high expectation of themselves. Alright? And when they fail to reach the goal, they experience that major, Coach Marky, okay, Tacloban, you're from Tacloban. Tama si Coach Marky yan. Hello, Coach Marky. Thank you for watching. Okay. And they would experience self-doubt and worry about measuring up. They would realize that, okay, if they make it, okay, it's just a mere luck because they know for a fact that they have set it so high. You getting this? Or if they make it, they will still doubt it because they are so perfectionist and they will always look for the loopholes and the flaws of the success. Who among you here can connect? Yes? Okay. If you're not sure if you're suffering from this category, let me ask you a couple of questions. Are you ready?
Ready.
If you want to read more about the imposter syndrome, one of an expert in this category is Dr. Valerie Young. Okay, she he's written a lot of materials on imposter syndrome. Very good materials for you to look into, and I think she's also written about these 5 categories. So, 5 questions to couple of questions to ask. Ready?
Ready.
Have you ever been accused of micromanaging? That you are too detailed. That you are giving steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, sometimes 1.1, 1.2. Okay? You have given all the instruction, but you seem not to be able to trust people, and you keep checking, have you done this? Are you okay with this? Where are you now? Present. Do you have a difficulty delegating? And even if you do so, you get frustrated and disappointed because you know that you can do it better than the person. Do you experience, okay, achieving something, doing something, but you still feel not successful because you always think that there is still something better you could have done? And at the end, you will say, I'm not cut for this, and you just throw the towel, even if people will say, no, you've done a great job, and you couldn't believe and accept it. Do you feel that you need to do a job always 100%, no less than 100%? It has to be perfect or no job done at all. Maliit na bagay, sabi nga ni Coach Mix. You are, okay, do you experience that you cannot enjoy, you cannot be satisfied with whatever achievement because at the end of the day, you still calculate how productive you have been? You have produced a lot for the day. You are already too tired. Your body's worn out and you're still asking, am I productive for the day? Have I done enough? Have I accomplished what I needed to accomplish? Hey, you are also the type of person that normally experience burnout. And yet, you still to complain you cannot find the contentment in life. And you would always say, I still need to cultivate my self-esteem and self-confidence. Who's connecting? Hello, Day? Okay. Most of the time, you would also encounter that you would force yourself to start a project and you wanted to end it with a timeline that is shorter than what is set just because you want to prove that you can make it. And if you finish the project just right on time, you will feel that's not still the perfect outcome. Hello? Okay? If you finish the job earlier, you would still feel that is not flawless. You would still think that there could have been things that you should have done. And when you finish it on time, you would say, if I have more time, I could do it better. Who's connecting? Okay. Category number 2, Superwoman or Superman syndrome or category of the imposter syndrome. Since people who experience this phenomenon are convinced they are real deal, okay? Real deal heroes. Meron kang ganon, okay? You push yourself harder and harder to measure up. However, you also have the tendency to cover up your insecurities by overloading yourself. You overload yourself. Not only your mental health is being sacrificed in this, but your relationship with other people. You overload. Your load is up to here and you still want to accept more. And when you start feeling that the load is being delegated to other people, you feel bad. You feel not needed. Yes? Not sure if this is you? Let me ask you this. Do you stay later at the office late night while the rest of the team is going home? Even past the point that you've completed your day's work, you would still stay because you wanted to feel that importance that you can do more and better than the rest of the team who's already home. Past life daw yon. Do you get stressed when you're not working and you feel that when you're on vacation, okay, you have wasted a time? Do you go on a vacation and you feel guilty that there are still work back at the office? Do you go on a vacation, you go watch a movie and you're thinking if the project is moving the way it should be? Do you feel bad that you left them and you feel that it would have been a better output if you're there? For some people, do you feel that you have not truly earned your title, that you are not yet deserving of whatever promotions you got, whatever title you're having right now? Therefore, you press yourself to work harder and harder, longer and longer, just to prove that you are the man, you are the woman for the post. Imposters who are having this, or who are in this category of superwoman or superman, is usually we call workaholics. They are, hindi talaga kayo to, si Dito. They are addicted to validation that comes from working. They are not addicted to the work itself. They are addicted to the validation. So if they don't get the validation, then they don't measure up. So now they doubt their capacity. Yes, Coach Steve? May kakilala kayo. Oo, si Dito. Di ba? They're not passionate about the work. They work harder, they work longer, they press for things because they want to hear, okay? They want to hear what? Your validation, the validations for other people. So if you are a manager, okay, you imagine you have people who wants to be validated all the time, and if you don't get to validate them, they feel unimportant, they feel useless, and they say that I'm a failure. And you couldn't understand where is this thought that they are failure coming from. Maybe because they are lacking validation. Okay? So, if they're not validated, even if the job is done well, even if they get recommendations and everything, because they're lacking the needed validations from the people they're expecting the validation, they will still feel they're a failure. Do you know someone? Okay. Number 3. Are you ready?
Ready.
Maganda to. The natural genius. Di ba? Ang ganda. Ano yung natural genius? These are the people with competence type, okay, where they believe they are naturally gifted, and therefore they will judge the competence of other people. Okay? Why? Okay? Where is this coming from? Because they cannot be kind to themselves as well. They will spend time, longer time to master something. And if they don't spend time mastering something the longer time, they will feel ashamed. They will feel not ready even if they're already equipped. This type of imposter set their internal bar so high, just like the perfectionist, but natural genius don't just judge themselves based on ridiculous expectation. They also judge themselves the way they judge other people. They would always come into comparison with other people, and because they quick to judge the capacity of other people, it mirrors how they look at themselves. The natural genius also beat themselves when they're not able to give you a quick response a quick solution or resolutions over situations. Is this you? Let me ask you a question. Are you used to, okay, or do you always excel? When you say I excel, because you have given so much effort. To you excellence, to you to excel, you need to give a lot of efforts than most of the people in your group. Do you have a record of straight a perfect score, a gold star, a number 1 slot in everything that you do? Were you always called the smart kid, the smart child, yung pagkagaling-galing? Ano pa? Okay, here's the thing. This one will hit you, home ground. Do you resist getting a mentor? Because you can handle things on your own. That's the natural genius in you. Yes. And the other thing to test is that you are often seen avoiding challenges. Because it's so uncomfortable to try something you're not great at. You know, someone who's so good, so great, so skilled on something, and when you ask them to do a challenging work, they will refuse because they don't want to fail. They will only take a job, they will only take a responsibility that they are so sure they will excel because they believe that they are so galing. Can you take a look at the person next to you and see if there's an imposter syndrome in that person? Tanungin mo lang. Ang sagot nito, lahat ng 5 na yan, coach, meron ako. Okay. Have you ever met someone, not you, okay? You're about to do a presentation. And until the last minute you're about to start the presentation, you're still rehashing your presentation materials. Pass. Pass yan. Okay na daw. Pag coach na, mabuti na siya. Okay, number 4. Baka kayo na to. The soloist. Soloist. Sufferers who feel as though asking for help reveal that they are not good enough. So the moment they ask for help, they would beat themselves. For them, independence proves that they are good enough. They resist getting help. They resist asking for help. Because being independent is what proves that they are worthy of success. Would you like to ask yourself, do you firmly believe that you need to accomplish things on your own and your own alone? That everything you need to accomplish a particular job, a particular project, is everything is provided and everything is in your hands and you need not anyone to help you with? Is your common response, I don't need help. This is too little, I can manage. Do you frame or do you ask requests or do you ask something in a manner that the person will feel that you are not in need, but you're giving the person just an opportunity to share in the success of a project? So you're not saying, I need help. You're just saying, you may want to partake in what I'm doing. Connecting. And finally, the 5th is what? Would you like to guess? What's the first one? Perfectionist. Then we have the superwoman, the natural genius. The 4th is the soloist. Okay, this might be you, the last one, the expert. Yahoo! The expert measure their competence based on what? and how much they know or they can do. Believing they will never know enough, they fear that being exposed as unexperienced or unknowledgeable will collapse on them anytime. So they have this, they would not even reveal what they're so good at, because if they are not really the expert and they cannot substantiate being the expert, they are so fearful. So they would rather hide what they're good at until they have reached that portion that they can say, I am the expert. Yeah. If you're applying for a job, these are the people who will not apply to a particular job unless all the qualifications there is they are an expert. Like everything, every single thing, they would have to ensure that they are the expert there, or they are already on the ace line. Are you one person who's always seeking to get certification classes or classes because you think you don't know anything enough to succeed? Many people go through certification and training because they want to improve. But this one, when you have an imposter syndrome, because you still believe that there's nothing in you for you to succeed. And the last one would be, you always say you don't know enough. You don't have enough. The lack, you always have the lack. And because of that, you use it as an excuse not to take an action. Okay, any one of you can connect? One or two, or everyone? Everyone, everything? Okay, here's the thing with imposter syndrome. With imposter syndrome, regardless of your category, regardless of any of the categories, some people would have all, okay? Some people would have 3, okay? But regardless of the category you're belonging in, the problem with imposter syndrome is you know in your heart, you know in your mind that you're good enough, that you have what it takes, but you will always believe that beating yourself will still push you to the limit. Ito yung mapangbit ng sarili. Okay? That whatever you take, whatever you achieve, whatever you have in life, you still feel not enough, not because you don't believe you're not enough, but because you always believe there's more to prove. And one critical thing that really hinders you is that you cannot ask for help. Because asking help will immediately put you in a position that you're not good enough. If you are suffering from an imposter syndrome, countless at times, your relationship suffers. Because in every relationship, you expect to have a give and take. You expect to give help, and you expect also to get help. How many times you encounter people that you feel uncomfortable to be with because they refuse getting help from you? It is a human instinct for us to help, right? So think about it. Imagine someone with you who doesn't want to ask for help or to receive help. Doesn't want to ask and who refuse to get help from you. How would you feel? How would you feel? Hindi ka kailangan. So if you are the one in a relationship with someone who's having an imposter syndrome, the quality of relationship deteriorates over time because you feel that you are not needed in the relationship. Unappreciated. And eventually, if you are working with someone with imposter syndrome, you started getting the syndrome yourself. Because you are treated the same way, so you start doubting yourself if you are capable, if you are good enough, and if you can somehow still be validating your success. You're getting this. Now, you wanna end your imposter syndrome, or you wanna move from being an imposter? Okay? Okay. Coach John, we miss you here. Okay, let's begin. Number 1 is, if you are, what category you are? Perfectionist. Okay, perfectionist is the first one. Okay, the first category. Okay, if you believe that you are suffering from an imposter syndrome because you are a perfectionist in the perfectionist category, I want to challenge yourself. Is there anyone in the world who's successful, who's high caliber, who never committed a mistake? You may have to find that someone, so you become aware, or you are reminded every day, every moment, that perfection will not be your case ever, because there is no such thing as perfect. Agree, disagree? Yeah. Just get someone. Think about it. Is there anyone in the world highly successful that you can really say, this is my model, and that person never committed a mistake, and that person is absolutely perfect? Because being reminded of that, okay, when you have a mental picture of someone who's highly successful, and you could accept in yourself that this person is not flawless, okay, and have not perfected everything in their life, then you would still be able to find in your heart to be kind to yourself, and you will stop beating yourself. Okay? The Superman and the Superwoman. Who got this? Who got this? Okay. I want you to challenge yourself. What is the worst thing that could happen if you will not be the person to help? What would be the worst thing that could happen if you will not be there to do what the job requires of you? What's the worst thing that could happen? Can you picture that out? Because maybe, just maybe, you cannot even picture the world collapsing just because you're not able to do the job. Yes? If you are in the category of what? What's the third category? The natural genius. Okay. Find someone who's greater than you. Find something to learn on a regular basis, just so you know and be reminded that there are still things in the world that you don't know. And last, anong kasunod? The soloist. Okay, the second to the soloist. Okay. It's okay to be independent, but there are things better to be done, better to be accomplished with a partner, with a team. Okay? Think about the things you accomplished in the past with someone else. Think about things that you accomplished in the past with a team. Think about the things you've done in the past successfully because someone else offered help and you accepted the help. And for the expert, we need to accept, we just have to accept in ourselves that mastery and expertise takes time. So there is nothing in this world that you will be an expert immediately. And there's still something in this world to learn. There's still something in this world to navigate. There's still things in this world that can help you be a better version of yourself. Connecting? Okay. At the end of all this, the bottom line would be, imposter syndrome comes from us allowing other people's expectations of us to be louder than our self-worth. We allow other people to define our own values. And so without validation, without affirmation of other people, we tend to take for granted the things that we have accomplished in life. We know that we're skilled, we know that we're successful, but because the people we love, the people we value, the people we respect fail to give us that validation, then we're starting to have this imposter syndrome. So, if you really want to resolve this, I ask you one question to end the night. Who do you allow to speak to your life? Who do you allow to give validations to you? Who do you allow to criticize you? Who do you allow to say you're good or you're not good enough? Who holds the remote control in your life? Who knows you? And who do you allow to say who you are? All these questions will not matter if you don't know who you are. All these questions will not matter if you cannot put value to yourself above all else. Bottom line, love yourself, encounter yourself, take care of yourself, and no one else will be louder than your voice of who you say you are. Good night, everyone. This is Coach A. I'll see you on Thursday.